there's been a lot of conversations regarding green hydrogen, the national strategy, the participation of provinces, skills development, women in green energy. And today I thought I'd focus on international partners, international countries that are geared up to help South Africa also to reach its goals. So when you look across the world, Naledi, you'll find that South Africa is not the only one that's making a hype and really seeing the benefits of green energy. You have countries like Asia, for instance, in China. You have countries like in France, Total Energies is also doing something. A lot more countries. I know that in Africa, Djibouti, in the Horn of Africa, they are also spearheading something. Egypt, for instance, wants to see itself as a hub in Africa of green energy. So is India. India in Asia also wants to see itself as a hub in Asia. But what is the Netherlands doing? For instance, they are here and are participating. How are they supporting South Africa? We are going to hear from Mr. Jo Gigler, who is with us and is my guest today, has been graciously agreed to speak to us to let us know the support that South Africa is receiving from the Netherlands. But maybe if a point to start would be absolutely to ask about Netherlands' own plans with regards to green hydrogen. Welcome to SABC News.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have very ambitious plan in the Netherlands as far as hydrogen is concerned. Basically now we're using a lot of natural gas in our industry, and that natural gas will be turned into a hydrogen, for example, to produce fertilizers. And due to the energy transition, we have to change to sustainable alternatives, and green hydrogen is one of them. And if you look at the Netherlands and also our partner Germany, we have such a high demand of hydrogen now based on natural gas, which we need to make sustainable into green, that we're not only looking at producing green hydrogen ourselves, but we need partnerships all over the world to make sure that we get that supply of hydrogen. So it's with great pleasure that we're here in South Africa and see, can we establish partnerships to do this together?
There is a net zero goal to reduce emissions by 0% by 2050. What other activities is the Netherlands doing to reach this? I know that other countries are looking at waste to energy, the changing of water, desalination of water and other projects. What else is the Netherlands doing?
Well, actually we're doing three things. First of all, we're trying to capture the carbon from processes where we use fossil fuels. That's the first one. The second one is that we try to introduce hydrogen, or let's say electricity first. So from wind and solar we produce electricity to electrify our industry, our homes, our cars, etc. And the third one is that we use sustainable electricity to produce green hydrogen in those end users that cannot use electricity directly. For example, long distance trucks or some of the trains or the production of fertilizer. And I think the last one is we also look at biomass, because besides hydrogen we also need green carbon. And so far all the carbon comes from coal and natural gas and oil. And we need to change that, and so we also need biomass. So with electricity and biomass we actually can become completely sustainable in, let's say, around 2050, maybe a bit after that, but the outlook is great.
Let's talk about the support that you're looking for or looking towards with South Africa. How much can you support South Africa's own plans of developing a really developed hydrogen economy?
Yes, I must stress that what we're looking for is mutual partnerships. We have to do this together. We have to trust each other to build ecosystems where we can produce and use hydrogen. So I think that what's important is that we help South Africa with finance, to invest here, with skills development, with expertise, with the products that you need. But on the other hand, I think that South Africa has to request from us, from, let's say, the rich Europe, that we help you in getting your own stuff together to make sure that people are educated, that they get a decent wage for what they're doing, and that you get something in return for your green hydrogen. So also to make your country much more sustainable. And I think that we have an excellent chance to do so. And that's what we're looking at this fair, this conference, to see how can we make partnerships. And our Prime Minister was already here in June, last June. Our King will come to South South Africa one of these days. We will be meeting him tomorrow, the King and the Dutch Queen, and to see how can we build this mutual partnership where both can benefit. I think that that's crucial.
I know that a lot of people, all they're thinking about is the money, who's going to fund us, and you're saying that you're willing to help. Have you had any fruitful discussions or meetings at this particular conference where you're sitting with someone and you're looking at your plan and you're thinking, this might work, this might be what we're looking for? I know that they've been pitching decks, there's been a lot of companies that have been pitching in other sessions for funding. Have you been able to sit in those?
Well, you know, I think it's not wrong to talk about funding because the money has to come from somewhere, and if funds are limited in South Africa, you have to see how other countries will help you. But I'm also talking to, for example, ports who are looking for partnerships for port development, to look at pipeline development, to look at project development, and also the whole skills development. How can we team up with universities, with companies to make sure that together with Europe that we build this? And I think it's good to realize that in Europe we have a huge shortage of young people, technical people. You know, they're just not there. So how can we help each other with large surplus, high unemployment, and make sure that we get this together and build a joint system of green hydrogen, of green molecules to actually make the energy transition. So I think there's an excellent chance to do this together.
And build an ecosystem of green money, I suppose.
Exactly.
Jörg Kikler, thank you so much. Naledi, I've been speaking to Jörg Kikler, and he's been sharing with us the plans that Netherlands has and how they can extend a hand to South Africa. He makes an interesting point about the large pool of unemployed youth that we have, that, you know, how can we use this unemployment rate to be able to, you know, benefit the green hydrogen economy. I'm in this center where most of the countries from international countries have set up, and I'm going to try to speak to some of them to hear what their plans is. But for now, please allow me to hand back over to you in studio.